like it's more difficult to get a data job now than 2-3 years ago. So you really need to just, explore all options. Hi guys, my name is Miriam Adebola. I work as a data analyst and I'm a YouTuber.
In this video, I speak to my friend Miriam Adebola, who is a YouTuber and a data analyst.
People want to learn so many things at the same time, right? They want to learn SQL, they want to learn Python, they want to learn Excel, and you're also not extremely good in each one of them. So when there's like a job interview or like a test, you struggle.
I've known Miriam for a few months now, and I am always curious about pathways into tech. So today we are doing coffee and talking about starting a career in data analysis.
Whatever I'm sharing here is like, this is the first time I'm sharing this publicly.
From your experience, I know because you run a YouTube channel where you talk about data analysis and people ask you questions a lot. What is one mistake you see that beginners who are trying to get into data analysis make that you would highlight?
It's also something I also experienced when I was trying to like transition. And the number one is actually how people want to learn so many things at the same time, right? They want to learn SQL, they want to learn Python, they want to learn Excel, and you're also not extremely good in each one of them. So when there's like a job interview or like a test, you struggle because instead of you to spend time in knowing one skill, excellently well, you're trying to like split your time in like different things. So I think people make that mistake, and one of the things I usually encourage for people is don't overwhelm yourself. And because it's also a new field, right, it will take a lot of like energy, a lot of like learning. Like just conserve your energy and really just learn one tool before you move to the next one, and also build projects. Because sometimes you take a course, you think you know the tool, but it's when you're actually working with like real world data, you will know if you actually know that skill or not. So people take from one course to another, take 100 courses, but then there's really nothing to like show and say, okay, I actually know to use this tool. The other thing also, which is something people shy away from, which I also think is something I also struggled with, is also not putting yourself out there. So you've done all these courses, so you've taken this certification program, so you built this project. Why is it on your laptop? Like, why are you showing me? I'm not going to employ you, right? Like, you need to also push yourself and also just be active on platforms where potential employers are also her, so that people will know that, okay, this person is actually interested in this. So there's always that mistake, oh, they've done projects, but then nobody knows what you're doing.
What are the top 2 platforms you think everyone who's trying to get into data analysis, or even someone that is already a few years into data analysis, needs to leverage or is not leveraging the most?
I really like Twitter. I feel like the tech community on Twitter is very active. And because you also get to like meet people that are doing stuff within your field, right? And LinkedIn, because employers are there, right? If you're someone that is new, I feel like it's more difficult to get a data job now than 2-3 years ago. Right, so you really need to just explore all options. So if you're someone that is new, you do not want to joke with LinkedIn, not just like using LinkedIn to like apply for jobs, like posting what you're doing, networking with people that have been in industry for years, also learning and seeing the courses that they do that you can also take, or people they're speaking with. So I would say LinkedIn and Twitter. Twitter because you get to like interact with people that are working within your field, but LinkedIn because it's a good platform for you to, network with employers that are going to give you jobs.
Next question is, what are the most in-demand technical data analysis skills that everyone needs to learn in 2025?
Honestly, I feel like I don't want to sound like all these tech influencers that will say, oh, you must learn SQL. Like, if you don't learn SQL, something will happen. And the reason why I don't like saying this is because the skills that are required for a data analyst role, like the skills varies across industries. Like there's some companies that the only tool that their data analysts use is Excel. Like you do not need to learn SQL, you do not need to learn Python and the rest. But there are some that SQL is like a major one. So what I usually encourage people, especially for people that are just starting, and because most times when people are also looking to go into data analysis, they're coming from like a non-tech background, right? So it's usually, wiser or like better for you to like start with something that it'll be easy for you to understand, and you won't get overwhelmed easily and say, "Oh, I'm no more doing it again." And I think that's why most people encourage Excel to start with. But I would say any skill you want to learn, just learn it extremely well. Like when they wake you up, if you say you know Excel, like when they wake you up, like you're really efficient in using that skill, right? But I also know that if you're someone that is looking to like, get to the next level, and like I said, it's getting more difficult to also get jobs now than before. I would say try to learn Excel, try to learn SQL. You can also lay your hands on Python, even though if you're not using it, at least if they're like, it just opens you to more opportunities, right? And when you're applying for jobs or like you want an opportunity, you're also not limited because you don't know those other skills. And that's one of the things I'm also doing personally. If you're just looking to like start, you really need to like leverage LinkedIn and Twitter, and for several reasons. Try and follow 2-3 people. You can follow me on those platforms and really also see the courses that they've done in the past and see if there's something you can also opt in for. And if you're also just starting, I see no reason why you should pay for a course. I think you can start with free courses before you move on to the paid ones. And I will also say, while you're taking all these courses, don't try to do so many things at the same time. You get overwhelmed, right? And most people end up not doing anything. So I would say just focus on a course at a time. And when you're taking the courses, don't just take the course and be like, oh, I'm getting the assignments here. Like, go to platforms like Kaggle, go and download data and use those skills that you've learned in working with the data set, because that's how you actually get to know if you know those stuff or not. And I also say pray to God, to be honest. I like to say this at all times because there's just this luck that also comes with this. There are some people that did not even learn so much, but they got a very high paying job, like very easy. But and I've also seen people that sometimes people even send me their CV and their projects. I'm like, how come you still do not have a job? Because they're just extremely good, and I can't just understand why they're struggling to get a job. So I would say also just pray to God to guide your paths, put His barakah, like His blessings on whatever that you're doing. So yeah, I think those.
Have you ever gotten other advice from like a role model or a mentor in the tech space, and what was that advice?
Can I remember any? I think there's this guy that I really, really liked on YouTube. His name is Alex. But I can't remember the advice like word for word. Yeah. But one of the things that, because I'm a YouTube addict, right? And in a lot of his videos, he usually just encourage and advise that whatever you're doing, just do it well and do it extremely well and be extremely good at it, right? So I'll say that's probably the only one.
I guess that's a good advice. Whatever you're doing, do it extremely well and be extremely good at it.
Yep.
Yeah, so last question, as a YouTuber who is also a data analyst, what advice would you give to someone who is also trying to get into YouTube and while doing whatever they're doing in tech or any role?
Okay, I would say the reason why you want to start a YouTube. Because I feel like it will just make the process much easier and more enjoyable for me. So just some context, my parents, they are teachers, so I think I also love to teach, right? And I've been doing YouTube for more than a year now. And honestly, I enjoy it. Like, I don't see it as something that is hard.
Yeah.
Although there's some part that is hard, which is something you can always just outsource. I don't like editing videos because I feel like it takes so much time.
It does take so much time.
So you also just need to identify, but I also know some people that they like editing videos, right? So the point is you need to start to also know if it's something you will like or not. Identify the hard part and see if there are like options for you to resolve those hard parts. Because when you're seeing it as a hard thing, that's when you would probably struggle with like being consistent with like posting and all of that. I mean, I was telling a friend I have close to 100 videos on my YouTube, and it doesn't feel like it's a lot of videos to me, to be honest, because since I started, the only thing I know I struggled with is with the video editing. But like researching my video topics, like shooting the video itself, like engaging with my audience, these are things that I actually find so much joy in doing. So like really just know the reason why you want to, do YouTube, and also just ask for help. I remember when I wanted to start, I couldn't even record in because I stay in my sister's place, so I couldn't record there because I didn't want to disturb her. I remember I just told some friends, I told them that they need to support me because this is a new thing. I have a friend that gave me a studio to shoot. I have another one that gave me his camera to shoot. Also just ask people for help. And I think they also just gave me that push to get started. And it's been more than a year, and I absolutely love it. And I'm currently monetizing the channel, and I was telling a friend that even if I'm not monetizing the channel, I think I'll still be happy because I truly enjoy the impact my videos are making. So yeah, I hope that helps.
All right, thank you, Miriam, for this conversation.
Thank
That's
you.
the last question that we have. So make sure you follow Miriam's YouTube channel.
Please
She's
do,
an
Miriam.
amazing teacher.
Miriam Adebola.
Yeah. And ask her any question you want about YouTube.
I
or
respond
data
to all my
analysis.
comments.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I randomly met her in a coffee shop, and today we are walking from a different. This is not exactly a coffee shop. This is like
It's
a
not.
hotel lounge.
And I thought we were going to a coffee shop.
Yeah, we could pick another than go to a coffee shop.